As far as tips for growing vegetables, it really depends on the vegetable you're growing. So I'm growing
the climate you're in.
And the climate you're in. Like I'm growing tomatoes and peppers this year. They started off great when the weather was a little bit cooler, but it's been so hot here in Texas that they're suffering a bit now. And there's not much I can really do about that. Just gotta kind of keep watering them and keeping an eye on them and making sure that they at least stay alive a little bit until things cool off. Tomatoes love water. You want to make sure they got moist soil. They don't need sun all the time. It's okay if they only get like afternoon sun, but they do need sun. Same with peppers. Pepper plants. Peppers are a little bit more tolerant of direct sun, in my experience. But otherwise, they're pretty similar to tomatoes. And any kind of plant food you can do to add nutrients to the soil, whether it's like artificial like Miracle-Gro or natural like compost, that definitely helps too.
I had a science experiment in elementary school with a very small sample size. I was trying to get tiny little bean plants to grow. And we tried water, sugar water, Miracle-Gro, and literally Sprite out of a neon green bottle.
Wow.
And the Sprite plant grew the largest that year.
Really?
But like, there was only 1 or 2 plants of each variety, and so it could have just been a genetic quirk or, you know, the placement on the windowsill. And I feel like Sprite winning really sent a wrong signal to that 3rd grade class, because I continued to drink it for years after that. I'm like, it's what plants crave!
Sprite is the best! It's even better than Miracle-Gro.
Apparently. Yeah, just go to the garden center at your local plant store, find the gentleman in a vest there with a kind old soul, and say, what grows good here? And he will be like, you should plant cilantro.
So you say you've killed a lot of basil. Like, how have you planted your basil before, Alex? That's what I'm looking for. Cajun seasoning.
This is garlic in a curry paste with some oil in a pan, right?
It is, yes. Well, not oil. This is butter. 2 tablespoons of butter. About a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half of garlic, and some Thai red curry paste. Ooh. I had always heard previously that basil loves sun, so I would always grow it in direct sunlight. But the Texas sun is so harsh that I found that what I've had success with is planting them in spots where it gets either morning sun or afternoon sun, but not sun all day. It likes a bit of shade and moisture. Not as much as tomatoes, but it does like moist soil. So watering it once a day is good too. But otherwise, it's been pretty happy.
Alex has only tried growing basil indoors.
Okay.
It must not like him, or it's something his body produces.
No, basil does like sun. It needs direct sun. I've heard of people growing basil indoors, usually in one of those like self-contained planters that has like the UV light on top. Have you seen those before? Like grow your own herbs indoors kind of thing. Self-contained growing pod. But anything less than that probably wouldn't be successful for basil indoors because it needs sun. It's a Mediterranean herb, so it's like designed for that kind of Mediterranean climate. And it's often why it's paired with tomatoes, I feel like, because they like similar conditions. 7 seconds on the potatoes. Okay, let's see how these potatoes are doing. And I completely